One more time. Welcome. Welcome to Sophie's Voice.
Yeah.
No singing bowl on this episode. Doesn't mean it won't come back. Might sneak back every now and again, but not on this episode.
No, on this one, yeah.
And we're probably not going to get into that controversy today. We've probably done that to death, and we're going to get into a little bit. You just wanted to explain your situation a bit.
First thing I said, recently I said, singing bowl's mostly benign and not affecting anything, but the only one thing, I had one reservation. That was a different religion. I'm happy to go with some of the things Street Missions say.
Yeah.
It's probably my answer.
And I'm happy, yeah. It sort of made me think too, it's hard to know, isn't it, where your boundaries are and how much you influence other people and what does it mean? I don't know. But I did think when it comes to instruments, it felt a bit different. I thought if it was, like we were talking to Shirley the other night about tarot cards, and I think, I draw a line there. Like it feels like tarot cards are related to an activity that is going to spiritual powers outside of God. That's generally, I don't know if Shirley agrees with, she can talk in the comments and tell me what it is to her, but different people experience it differently, but I feel like that's got such a strong association with other spiritual forces. Whereas I didn't feel that about the singing bowl, but I could be wrong. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like as long as we keep relating to God, that's the thing. If anything, if I feel like anything interrupts my relationship with Jesus, then I'll get warning signs. But
if something does, like demons jumping around your house.
Yeah, that's a sure sign.
Yes.
Something's not right. Yeah.
Which hasn't happened yet.
No. I have had to deal with demons, so I know what it's like having them around. But so anyway, we'll leave the singing bowl behind.
Yeah.
And we just thought we've been chatting a lot about Charlie Kirk today, and it's just been such an amazing few days, such a shock to the world. I couldn't believe it. I remember my son sent me a text, my son in Melbourne, Daniel, shout out to Daniel, hope you're watching, you better be watching. Oh yeah, you're up there, aren't you? Look at the screen. Hey, Daniel, he sent me a text, like, must be in the morning, wasn't it? And it had a headline, Charlie Kirk has been shot, and I thought, it's probably that clickbait, probably nothing. So I went and checked Google, and it was like headline. I went, yeah. So I'll just go first a little bit that I didn't know. I didn't know a lot about him. Like I'd seen him, I knew he was a conservative guy. I'd seen little clips here and there that I liked, like particularly about the abortion and stuff like that. And I generally thought he was pretty balanced and pretty fair, but sometimes I saw things that I thought he had a bit of an arrogant air. Sometimes that may have been why he triggers people a bit. But yeah, this has changed everything. It's just so different now to look at him through the eyes through this reality of what's happened to him, and it's shocking and amazing. Yeah. So you didn't know much about him, you said, didn't you?
No.
You didn't even know anything about him, I think you said.
Not really. I kind of came into looking into it quite late, actually, because I wasn't interested. I thought it was a massively controversial, divisive kind of thing. And
when it first happened?
Yeah.
The death?
Yeah. Now, I think even just before I looked at I did look at something else. The title of Brendan O'Connell's video. That was the first thing I took down in my notes. Saying he knew some stuff and he needed to be killed. And then after that, just before I watched the second one, which, well, I didn't watch, I was actually watching something. So the first one of people having the first shock of it, like, because people made several videos on this topic, like maybe 3 or 4 for some people.
It's just, like my YouTube was just swamped. Just about every video was Charlie Kirk. It's amazing. So it's not only the death itself, which was shocking enough, then all the conspiracies around it, conspiracy theories, I should say, around it, trying to work out what's true and what's not in this crazy information world where we don't know what's true, we don't know who to trust.
And there's AI.
AI, we were just talking about AI, how you know what's AI or not.
Because I gave up looking into the shooting event, except I did watch a bit of Candace, or listen to it while doing the dishes, so I was multitasking, but so I could get a bit of the event.
I found her quite moving. She didn't really talk about the event that much, though, did she? She just more talked about her friendship. Oh, no, sorry, you were talking about the second one. She did one where she went through their relationship, and it was pretty moving. And so now she's really riled up because... So Katherine and I are, talk a bit about Israel and... So a lot of different people got a lot of different ideas about Israel, and so when we're talking about Israel, we're not talking about Jewish people. We're not, but that there is some connection to whatever is the mechanism that started the state of Israel. That is something that seems like there's something very corrupt in that, and so there's a lot coming out now about. The Epstein files and him being a Mossad agent and, I don't know. Like, it's hard to know where people are at with these things that we're talking to.
I haven't looked into Epstein much, I guess.
Yeah, right. Well, what I'm just saying is that there's this sort of broader conspiracy. And then for me now looking into Gaza and starting to go, oh my goodness, maybe... this is not true what Israel's saying about that, and looking deeper and it becoming pretty clear, and then listening to people talking about the propaganda war and how there's an Israeli kind of lineage from Freud and his nephew, forget his name. Do you know the guy that they call him the father of propaganda? And he was...
Goebbels? Wait.
No, he was the nephew of Freud.
Is he the guy that made bacon and eggs in the morning really good?
Yeah. So there's been a lot of with the different 3-letter organizations, the different intelligence organizations, that it seems to be at that layer of reality that are outside of government control, that it feels like Mossad is the boss of them or something. And that it's at those sort of levels outside of laws and governments that there's something going on that is very corrupt and very crooked and wicked. And so Charlie was an avid Israel supporter. He was very passionate and felt that it was his Christian duty, as we've seen with Ted Cruz, that interview. Did you see the Tucker Carlson? Yeah. That kind of attitude of I just know I have to bless Israel because the Bible says I do. That have been brought up in that, and I think Charlie Kirk was kind of under that influence, and so and when people are under that influence as Christians, I think they just feel like this is just a loyalty thing. I'm just loyal to Israel because I read the Bible and I read about Israel being God's chosen people, and so I know that I just have to give them my loyalty. But it's all coming out that there was cracks in Charlie's thinking about that. And he was starting to see through it, and he really didn't like Benjamin Netanyahu. And there is now stuff coming out about how he was feeling afraid, and he feared retaliation from Israel because he was allowing people that had different opinions about Israel to come onto his show and onto Turning Point USA, that kind of thing. So, have you got any thoughts about that? About the Israel...
Candace kind of gave it to me on the other night. Yeah, I think so.
I think it was this morning, hey? No, yesterday.
There was a different one.
Yesterday. I haven't watched it yet.
Everybody's
When we
made
finish
like
this, we've got
3
to
or
watch
4.
Candace. I got it anyway. You will probably have to go home and do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the last thing you said?
I learned it from Candace first and foremost. And then also the title of that Brendan Lee O'Connell video was kind of similar to what Candace is saying about that anyway. So, like, the angle Brendan has is he found out about cyber tech transfer.
That Charlie found out about cyber tech transfer.
Yeah, Operation
So can you explain?
Talpiot, maybe.
Oh, is that the same thing?
I believe it is, yeah.
Because I know I've heard you say that many times, that word, Talpiot. I still don't really know what it means. I know I've asked you. Do you want to just quickly try and explain it to me again?
It is... I don't want to get it wrong, so I'll say I believe before it, just to clear myself.
Allegedly.
Israel taking cyber tech from US military and probably via the bird or the bard. The bird?
What's
I think the bird by bilateral intelligence, I don't know, BRD, research and development, I don't know.
All right, that's
something the bird, I don't know.
I wasn't aware of those things.
I think Brendan used like the bird.
So is this to do with them?
Yeah, he used it in one of his videos, I believe.
So is this to do with them having a backdoor into a lot of...
Backdoor, yeah. Okay. Everything's backdoor. If you got Intel chip in your computer, you got Israel inside. Dum, 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 dum. So, yeah.
Yes. So it's either true or it's not. There's this, and I feel like this feels like a catalyst, whatever we're going through now since Charlie's died, of like we're at a really intense point of some sort of battle. So it's not only spiritual, but it's happening on this sort of invisible world of the internet. So it's really hard to navigate through that, and I think, like I said, it's primarily a spiritual war, so I think that's the most important thing, to keep yourself grounded spiritually. Keep open to the truth. Don't get tribal. Don't take sides.
And don't get stuck in the left-right paradigm. The red car and the blue car.
That's right.
It's if you watch, like, I get sick of Sky News because it's only the right side.
Yeah,
and
that's
it
terrible.
Entirely. Like, I like some of the things they have on there, but
it gets nauseating when people...
Everything they
say. Whenever you realise that people are just tribal and they're just going to, no matter what, they're always going to see it through that angle. It's like you want people that you feel that they have the integrity, that if they see something that contradicts their position, they will be open to find out if that's true, even if their position has to shift. And, of course, that's what it seems like was happening to Charlie. He was in some sort of process of trying to understand what was happening, and that as he started to question, because his loyalty to Israel was genuine, and that he spoke in public talking to Meghan
Kelly,
yeah,
from Fox.
Right. Yeah. I don't think she is anymore.
Well, she used to be in Fox.
Because she was having the same thing where she was starting to question, because she was loyal to Israel. And she was starting to ask questions and had come out as saying, like, I don't understand what's going on. Why am I getting this pushback? So it sounds like they get a pretty intimidating pushback from people on that Zionist side if they start to express any sort of uncertainty, if they don't have a solid pro-Israel approach and defend Israel at any cost kind of thing. So Charlie was... He was perplexed by that. He didn't understand, and he was like, don't you understand? Like, this is about what I think, I'm not going to, pretend that I don't think this, and just to keep you happy. And so, there was a real tension going on, and that apparently that he turned down a whole lot of money from Netanyahu and turned down a trip to Israel. And so, he was getting a huge amount of pushback, and that it's come out that he has said that he was genuinely afraid that Israel was going to kill him if they felt that he had turned against them. So the plot thickens.
Yeah.
But I think it's, like we were talking about martyrdom. I just wanted to read what I found about martyrdom. This was from Anomaly. That's a guy I follow who's quite interesting, and always, I like him because he's like I said, he's not attached to this side or that side. He'll criticize and compliment anyone where he can feel that ring of truth. And I think that's what we've got to look for, that ring of truth. Here it is.
Yeah. Nuance.
The ring of truth.
Yeah, it's called nuance.
Yes, you've got to have the capacity for nuance, don't you? To be aligned with truth rather than this or that. Yeah. And
you don't be stuck in a box.
Yeah. And like I was saying, I don't think I finished that idea, but I was thinking about, because I'm sort of interested in the left-right thing, because it's on so many levels, the left-right, like it's become this idea, this in our understanding of the political landscape. Not that I reckon it's an invention anyway, left, right. But I mean, but people always tend towards, some people are more conservative and staid, and they like tradition and they like things to stay they are. Some people are more adventurous and open-minded and they want to change. Some people want to break the rules. Some people want to keep the rules. You've always got all the different variety of people.
Yeah, spectrum.
Yeah. So the idea of separating them and getting them to be fighting each other is shocking, and we just grow up in that, so we sort of accept it. But it's getting more and more intense.
People being pushed to the sides.
Yeah, that's right. So I think we've got to really work hard at not, there's almost this pressure, like you've got to choose which side are you on, and I think it's really important not to be boxed in. Because I really think it is more than just an idea that there's two wings and one bird or something. Like that to not just be in the centre, but to accept that both sides seem to contradict each other, but they are both belong to the same thing, and they're both really important.
Wholeness.
Yeah, that's right. And so whatever Charlie represents, he was a little bit leaning obviously to the right, but when you go back and look at his stuff, he wasn't like a real hardliner. He was very open to people. You have to watch some of his stuff, some of his debating.
I tell you, the first thing I watched of him was actually him talking about his scheduling and time management.
Right, that caught your eye.
That caught my eye because I'm trying to look into that for myself. I feel like I'm running out of time. Anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
So you get that right side. So in my mind, because I'm sort of interested in the masculine and the feminine, and because I'm writing a book about the divine feminine, I'm interested in the idea that these two sides represent those two sides of reality, the masculine and the feminine. And so they're kind of like the father and the mother. And so it's sort of like the most basic split is like the split of a family is between the mother and the father. And so that the children feel like they have to choose one or the other. But it shouldn't be like that, because your mother and your father are both what you're made of. And I feel like that's with this now, that the left is going to see more things from a more community base. I see that more as more the feminine and more the mother base, where you're concerned for people, you're sympathetic, you're sort of bit more not such a hierarchical, you don't understand hierarchical authority so much, you're more like wanting everyone to be equal. And that's a really important part of life. But then there's this other side where you've got structure and you've got boundaries and you've got things that to hold and to protect and look after things. And so what gets toxic is when one feels that it's right and it has to get rid of the other, and then it starts to attack the other, whereas they can't really exist without each other.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel like. It is sort of part of some sort of, what I mean. Ultimately, I suppose it's what we call the devil or whatever that is, the enemy of God. That brings division and divide and conquer.
Yeah.
To destroy a household, an individual, a society. So important not to get caught up in that. And these are very emotional times. People emotion high on both sides.
Yeah.
Since this, so we've got to be careful. But yeah, we know wherever Charlie is, he did his job. I feel like it feels like this was meant to be almost. Like, I don't mean that I don't know what I mean by that. What does it mean? It was meant to be. I don't know. It feels like.
Well, we're about to talk about martyrdom.
Yeah.
And we could talk in a brief moment. We could talk about the outcomes of martyrdom.
Yeah.
It relates into that, anyways.
I'll read this quote that someone wrote on Anomaly shared, which is, martyrdom is an amazing force to behold. In my lifetime, I've never seen it until now. I've read about it, but I've never seen it in action. Truly an eye-opening event. Millions of hearts changed in a short amount of time. Evil exposed that has lurked in the shadows for decades. Hearts opened in prayer. It's a force unto itself that catches like kindling but can burn for decades. And when I read that, I thought, oh yeah, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like something transformational that you're just caught in. You're not even. It's not you sort of going through a process. You just suddenly, it's like reality on some level. It's like something to do with the nobility of Charlie and his integrity and his purity of heart. No matter if you disagree with his ideas, I think it's obvious he was like genuine and pure of heart, and that he knew his life was in danger. But he knew he wanted to serve God however God wanted him to, and that he was willing to be that if he needed to be. He wasn't afraid. So I think that makes him a martyr, and that is transformative. It transforms reality. So we're living through that moment.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that have happened because of this. I believe his name, the channel's called Lion on Fire Ministries, and I think his name's Matt Mason, and he was talking about how he had a lot of screen caps of people making social media posts about how they are starting to now, after this event, Charlie Kirk's died, I want to go to church now, I want to read the Bible now, I want to pray now, I want to take things seriously now, I want to give my life to Jesus now. All this kind of, just over and over again, so many of them.
So it's like a darkness and light thing that has brought out this sort of demonic response from people who are under a different influence, and it's brought out that response, and I think that's what the times we're living in. There's a sort of a sharpening so that the darks get darker and the lights get lighter.
The breaking up of the sheep and the goats sort of thing, but like it's so intense now, like because well, I had to remove 2 accounts of one person from my Facebook because I got to see some darkness of somebody who I considered a friend on Facebook, and now I don't anymore. So, that happened. That's what this bed. I mean, maybe it's a cleansing of some sort. Like,
it's
maybe it's like taking a Band-Aid off. It hurts for a bit of it, and then
the positive effects.
Positive effects afterwards. It's good.
Yeah, because certainly it's real pain, but it's real sort of, I don't know. It's like not bad grief in a way. It's wholesome grief, and when and it also sharpens that sense of like Charlie's not finished. Not only is his impact on the world only amplified, like everyone's looking into Charlie now and looking at like, why do everyone hate this guy? What's going on? And like you say, so people are picking up that suddenly people are going, it's clarifying something for people, and they're going, I want to shift. I want to be on God's side. I don't want to be on the side of darkness. Can't remember a train of thought there, but
I was thinking something else. What Topher Field said. mask has slipped from people. Like, I guess that person I defriended off of Facebook.
Yes, it's really revealed that, isn't it?
Just,
how ugly that is, that attitude.
Yeah, so similar to what Matt Walsh was saying. You go to the supermarket, you're in the produce aisle, like a left-winger's going to be nice to you because they don't know you're a conservative. But if they knew you were a conservative, this isn't for every left. I know there's a lot of left people who are on all sorts of the spectrum. There's just some certain people on the end.
Well, I think there's these extremes that, like I say, they start to identify the other side as the enemy and something that has to be destroyed to survive. Like, it becomes something else. It becomes toxic, but that's on both sides, I think. That's what I've had to come to realise, that, of course, there is people that we wouldn't identify with who people see as on the right, but they've gone so far that they've become something not right. And it's the same. I watched a little documentary someone made about the dark left, I think it was called.
Some people call it extreme left, extreme right.
So it's like something where you tip over the edge of something where you get radicalised. And, you know, I've seen that happen. And that was like Megyn Kelly, I saw. She was really angry at the idea, or like even the guy that's been arrested, and the idea that he's been radicalised. And that's why he's taken this attitude to Charlie of like seeing, like, it felt really ironic to me that he's said that Charlie Kirk is hateful, and yet somehow killing someone is like, is that hateful? But so this radicalisation and this infiltration of our educational system, so that young people go in to universities and that there's this infiltration, dare I say it, Marxist, whatever, I don't know, that takes it over to create this polarization that's different to just left and right. Or it's like we need different words, isn't it? Because,
extreme?
Yeah.
Extreme left and right? That's what I'd say.
Maybe.
Because I think people usually on mainstream media is like, the extreme right, Nazis, stay away from that. But people just like hardly ever talked about the extreme left on the mainstream media.
And they use that now for just people that are moderate and just feel like we need structure, we need righteousness, we need God, we need authority. You know, so that becomes fascism. So yeah, it's interesting. Interesting times we're living through.
Yeah.
Is that it?
We haven't quite talked about Stephen yet.
Oh yeah, martyrs. Yes, we're going to talk about martyrs. We'll quickly do the martyrs, and then do you want to give us a bit of a rundown? You've been so you got inspired thinking about martyrs, and this person you talked about Stephen.
Probably Ray Comfort. I was thinking about Stephen before I watched that video that Living Waters made, and one of the first things I heard was like Ray Comfort talking about Stephen, the first martyr of Christendom. So I looked into, I read, it was, I think he's in Acts 6, 7 and 8. And Acts 6, forgot what happened there. Acts 7, his big speech to the Sanhedrin. It wasn't necessarily that inspiring, actually. I can't understand. He's just going through the history of Israel. I didn't understand.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. But what does get you is the fact that, like, he was stoned, and it shows you in the Bible, like, he is able to see into heaven before he dies and is very happy about it. And that's the relief for people to know that Jesus is right there if you're being persecuted and you die. Like, that's good to know. Yeah.
You go into glory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then he also forgave his persecutors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
And this kind of thing, the Charlie Kirk thing has made me think about Stephen and martyrdom a lot, and me pushing myself and going a bit more boldly. I've done that a little bit more. I wouldn't normally say this on Facebook, but I called it the offensive gospel on Facebook, and yeah,
it's like it's offensive to some, and it's like paradise to others.
Yeah.
Because Jesus was very attractive, but in terms of the authorities, he was a challenge to their setup. So it made it offensive.
Yeah. And then the outcome of, I think in the start of Acts chapter 8, it shows you the outcome of
his martyrdom.
Stephen's martyrdom.
So he was stoned, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So they got so riled up, the religious authorities, and this is in the New Testament if anyone doesn't know. So this is the first Christian martyr that's recorded.
Yeah.
Is Stephen. Because he was having such a big impact, they were trying to shut him down. He wouldn't shut down. He was being compelled by the Holy Spirit to spread the message. And they were so offended and outraged that they pretty much, I think they did it like lawlessly, didn't they? They just took him and
I think so, yeah.
they just couldn't hold back. They were just so
And
angry.
they were holding their hands over their ears didn't want to hear him speaking really loudly. I think it's just a bit like the left and how they just don't want to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, I had
well, let's say the extreme left.
Extreme left. Let's say the extreme left. Clarify. Yes. I mean, I'm having the same problem with that when I listen to. I think we don't believe in climate change here. So.
We don't.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I believe in looking after our environment, but I believe there is a hoax, and there is a climate change hoax that's aimed at control.
Yeah. I mean, similar to like how you feel when you hear something that you feel is indoctrination 3 times a day on the ABC radio. 3 times they talked about climate change today. And I had to tell Mum, you're being indoctrinated.
Yeah, they just keep repeating and repeating.
I couldn't stand it. I was just like, again. I don't want to listen to this again. And
then it works the other way too. That like you get, what Greta Thunberg represented was young people that keep hearing it again and again and going, what? The world's ending and you're not doing anything about it. They imagine that kind of panic you probably had when you were younger. Came under that a bit.
I did see
when you believe it, when you're young and you believe it. I think these kids that are growing up being told humans are destroying the world, we're probably not going to live for much longer because, unless we do something. That's equally as infuriating or if not more distressing.
When you hear deniers of climate change the language is so vitriolic. There's hate in the word deny, that you've denied something that's so real. I mean, I'm not saying the Holocaust was fake. It's real.
So we just switched to the Holocaust?
No, we don't have to talk about that. It's not on the topic. So I'm just saying, like, they've put climate change denial next to Holocaust denial.
Right, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like making it like people that are denying the truth and trying to distort the truth so that it doesn't get investigated. Whereas I doubt a lot of the information. The more I see alternative people talking about climate change, the more I doubt it, and I just want a proper situation, like with what's happening with vaccines. You just want things out in the open, and you want to have free discourse, free discussion, and let information come out. That's really what you want, isn't it?
Yeah. And I didn't want to go down this side road for no reason. It's more like the fact that I'm having to listen to this. I don't know if, like, that guy, what's his name? Travis Robinson or something? The guy that killed... I forgot the guy's name who killed Charlie Kirk. by mainstream media. Tyler Robinson.
Oh yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
I
Sorry.
think Robinson sounds right. Tyler's right.
Yeah. I'm not sure if his dad was listening to like Charlie Kirk a lot, and like he got so pissed off about that, because I can understand it, because I not exactly like, not that I'd go out and do something vile. No. I'm not sure what kind of point I'm trying to make here, but I can see like that riling me up. So.
Well, I think it's particularly, as like I say, this radicalization online that's happening to young people.
Do they like just listen to people just to get pissed off by them? Or is there, if you're
young and you haven't got a lot of life experience and you're doing a lot of your stuff online, which that guy was, he was a bit of a loner and he was doing it, and you get in these communities online, and then you'll get charismatic people that are teaching you the way reality is before you've really come to understand reality, and start to alienate you from your authority figures like your parents and stuff, and say they don't understand, they're against it. And then even like I know people that this has happened to, that then they start more and more to get into this doctrine of Marxism that is kind of like their objective is to destroy our Western civilization, really. And so they become, and when you're young, you want to have a fight, you want to be passionate about things, and you want to solve the world's problems, to think that you're trying to solve the world's problems by being intense. And
I think it's like driving a car really fast, or be on a BMX, like getting that thrill or something. Maybe.
Yeah. So all right.
Yeah.
Martyrs. Okay. So martyrs martyrs.
I was trying to figure out like how that Tyler Robinson guy, I think his name was, got to this point, just as reference to the fact that I was listening to something I really hated. But I think the internet is an outrage machine. Yeah. And people love the outrage. Yeah. That's what they're getting.
And you can find
on.
any kind of community to confirm you in whatever outrage you're feeling. And so these people, like there's sort of revealing communications in these sort of communities where they're just joking all the time about wanting to kill people, like Charlie Kirk. Yeah. And so you get, if that sort of becomes your bubble of reality, and that's what we've talked about before, what happens, isn't it, in this internet world. You lose perspective, and especially the trans thing, because he was like living with a guy who was transitioning. Yeah. They were in a relationship. So, and I think that was one of the other things too. I think something I've noticed about life is that if someone else says, like, so for instance, people get really angry at Christians, like maybe about the homosexual issue or something, that someone might take a stand and say, no, the Bible says that homosexuality is sin or whatever, that it's wrong, and that people get triggered by that, and it's usually because that voice is inside them as well. And there's a battle with who they really are, and they feel rejected by that voice, and there's a conflict within themselves that makes them want to stop that person from saying it, because it inflames that voice in themselves. Because otherwise, if it didn't resonate with you, what they're saying, why would it matter? If someone said, you're an alien or something, or you just go, oh. You wouldn't go, I'm not an alien, what are you talking about? Unless you had somebody who'd been telling you you're an alien or something, I don't know if that makes any sense, but you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
It's like this something you haven't resolved in yourself, you haven't come to peace with. So it's the feeling like, if I get rid of that person, it'll relieve this feeling of tension I have that I haven't worked out. Like I'm trying to get rid of this distress that I'm feeling and this rage. But really, if you resolve it within yourself, you don't, because it doesn't make any sense anyway. Like you kill Charlie Kirk and then the idea doesn't go away. You can't kill the ideas.
Yeah.
The ideas remain, and so you've got to deal with the ideas and work through them and find peace for yourself with whoever you are and whatever your battles are. And everyone's got their battles.
Yeah.
Everyone's, inherits a whole lot of imperfect humanity and have to try and work it out best you can. But, don't, if someone's pushing your buttons, figure out why, and to be able to be peaceful in the face of it. If people are saying things that you think are wrong, that's all right.
I have a problem with Chris Bowen, so...
I don't know who Chris Bowen is.
He's like the climate change minister.
Oh, in Australia?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to touch
So
you.
it's just people get on my nerves still. Obviously, I think climate change is the most annoying thing I've ever seen in my life. So,
Have you heard that thing about the Club of Rome back in the 70s or something, the 60s, that they actually decided that they needed a problem that was big enough that everyone could be, that they could get everyone together on? Yeah,
I mean, talking about like trying to calm ourselves down from the rage and anything that comes your way, like, and it's like my mum listens to the radio. Can't stop that.
That's your trigger.
Yeah.
Yes, well,
that is my top trigger. And then Gaza as well, probably second.
That triggers you.
I did a whole passions list and I put those two at the top.
Right. Yeah. So you got to find ways to find peace with these things, peace with reality, so that we can travel through this well and come out the other side intact and ready to keep building a beautiful community. That's what we're going to do. Despite it all. I was going to say make love, but maybe not here and now. All right, we done?
I think so.
I think we... Oh, seed...
Was there another topic?
Martyrs of the church, martyrs are the seed of the church. Blood of the martyrs, seed of the church. So what we were talking about was this thing about martyrs, like the idea that within Christianity there's something unique about martyrdom because Christ led the way through martyrdom. And that look what the impact he's had on reality that you can't deny, that the extraordinary impact he's had, and the world is not the same as it was 2,000 years ago because of Jesus. And then all the martyrs that came inspired by his spirit and full of his spirit, that every time they would attack the church, that it would have the reverse effect, that rather than stopping the church in any way, it would just, there would be a scattering. And I think that's what happened with what's his name? Not Simon, Stephen. There's a scattering and an immediate response, but it's just like the church grows as something happens, it happens on some supernatural level. There's an impact in reality. It feels like to me that it's not natural, it's not normal, not a normal, just someone dying for a cause, and that it's crystallizing and powerful, that it always is. But there's something unique about when it's in the church and it's in Jesus' name and it's in the Holy Spirit. There's something supernatural that happens. And it's the blood. That's weird, isn't it? All that spilt blood. Anyway.
Yeah, I was just thinking it was a bit like, I don't know if you might remember what it's called. It's a Greek or Roman monster. You cut one head off and then two sprouts from that. It's not Medusa.
Not Medusa. It's kind of related, isn't it?
Sort of. Not quite.
But yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Oh, does it start with a H?
Hydra? Something.
Because in Captain America, they have a Hydra, and that I think they're relating that to the fact that you cut one head off.
Oh, you're identifying that with the church.
Yeah, I was actually thinking they should take that on as an image, except it would be a bit like Captain America. So
Well, I think because if anything, I think that Hydra image gets used for something that is more like on the enemy side. We'll get another image.
we've got a fish.
Because I feel like there are demonic realms that are a bit more like the Hydra, that are hard to stop because of that, because of that quality. But so yeah, no, I don't think we'll take that on. If that's all right. We'll think of another one. All right, we better leave it there.
Yeah.
Ching, 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 ching. Let's do it again.